Today is another day. I have a topic. It's going to be a short one today because it's not. I only have one thing to talk about, so it's going to be a really short one today. So it is on freedom and how it's bullshit. How people pretend that you have freedom. To pretend of actually two topics, but the pretending of freedom. I'll give you an example. Gender roles and all the other bullshit. We pretend, we say, hey, you're a free human being. You can make all the decisions you want in this world. You can do what you want to do. You can be who you want to be. But at the same time, you need to stick to a role. I'll give you an example. A man is supposed to be stoic, not to show emotion, not to cry, not to be sad. Being sad. I mean, from some men's point of view, you can't be sad at all, even if it's like serious shit. But you know, but what I'm saying is, you have to be stoic now and show no emotion. For me, I don't fuck with that shit. I don't care for that fucking fake ass shit. I feel like we believe that humans should be free. That everyone should be free and be willing to do what the fuck they want to do in their life. So I believe, be who you fucking want to be. So if you want to be a trans woman, be a trans person. I don't give a fuck. Be who you want to fucking be in the world. I don't fucking care. That's the point of this world. We talk about so much about how this country is the land of the free, land of the free. But when it's time to be free and people be free and make their decisions and be who they want to be, that's bad. It's a bad thing to be free and choose who you want to be as a person. It's bad. That's a bad thing now. It's a bunch of bullshit. They say that you want freedom, that they believe in freedom. But when it's time to give those people that freedom to be able to be who they want to be, you want to take it away and make them fit into a certain box that you believe they should be in. But at the same time, you want freedom. Don't lie and say you want freedom, but also want people to be in boxes. Fuck that shit. Let people be free and make their decisions. This bitch, if she wants to be a boss and be a fucking CEO, then let her be a fucking CEO. I don't give a fuck. Let her do her thing. We have freedom for a reason. We call this country the free. This is the land of the free. We call this the land of the free. America is the land of the free. But all of a sudden, you have to sit in boxes. You can't be as free as you want to be. Sorry. Nah. Even if it doesn't harm people and has no effect on anyone else but yourself, nah. Fuck that freedom. Fuck your freedom. You need to be in this fucking shitty box that I say you should be in. And then the whole boxes and shit with the relationship boxes and stuff. And trust and relationships. Some people believe talking to the opposite sex is cheating. Now, personally, for me, fucking a person is cheating. If we're in a relationship and we're together and you fuck someone else, that is cheating to me. I know. And it ends. The relationship ends when you cheat on me. When you fuck another person while we're together, we're over. I don't give a fuck. I do not care. I don't want your excuses. I don't give a fuck. I don't want your excuses. I don't care. I actually don't care. So pack your shit, get the fuck out my house. That's just how that's how it be. That's just how it be for me. Pack your shit and go. I don't want nothing to do with your ass no more. Because once you get rid of because a relationship is on trust. And that's the currency. The trust is the currency. And once you use that currency, it ain't no more currency to be had. There's no ability to make more currency. That trust gone now. That trust gone. That currency's gone. Now, if for certain instances where trust needs to be a thing, you can build your trust back. But not in relationships. That's gone. To me, relationships, when we're dating, it's over. That type of relationship, when you use that currency and you use that currency like that, I don't care for it. I don't care for you no more. I wipe my hands of you. I wipe my goddamn hands of you. So we're done. You know what I mean? So fuck that shit. So, but some people believe it's cheating to talk to the opposite gender. or sex, whatever you want to call it. I don't care. Personally, don't give a fuck. The opposite, you know what I mean? It's cheating to do that. It's cheating to do that way. To do that, it's cheating to them. And I say, if you feel that way, why don't you get with people just like you? Why do you always get with people who don't share that value? If you are a conservative, why do you get with a fucking libertarian? If you are a social conservative or a social conservative, why the fuck you getting with a social liberal or Democrat? Why the fuck are you with that person? Are you dense? Are you dense? Are you dense? I need to know. Are you dense a little bit? Because you got to be a little bit dense to do that shit. Because to me, I want a bitch that shares my values or a woman to share my values. So when I have a kid, I want her to share my values. So when I raise my son or my daughter, I want them to be able to have both our lessons. We both believe the same shit, but she has a different spin to it because she's a woman and I'm a man. You know what I mean? You get what I'm saying? That's what I want, right? I don't want my kid to steal. Fine. That's my value. I don't want my girl to have a value where she wants to steal. Like she wants to steal people's shit. You know what I mean? I don't want that value to be instilled in my children. So I want them to share my value. I want a woman to share my values. I want a woman to share the same values I share. So I don't get when people get with other people and when they get with this person, they don't share the values you share, and then you get upset that they don't share your values, but you're the one that wants to fuck them. I don't understand. I don't understand that. You don't get to complain when you're the one running out of your way, running down the street to try and fuck these people, and they don't share your values. It just don't make sense. It just don't make sense. Shit. I think the whole gender role shit stupid. It's very restrictive. You can't live a life that you want to live. You have to live it in a certain way for other people. And I don't like that. I want to live the life I want to live. See? Like, I'll give you an example. Let's say this. The role would be you can't play video games. Let's say this. No video games. None of that, right? No video games. None of that shit, right? I don't want that shit. I don't want that. Fuck you. If anything, I want a girl who into video games, and movies like me. I want a girl like that, who into anime. See, I'm not that much into anime like that. I'll be fair. I'm not that deep in anime. I'll watch a few anime from time to time, but it's not like I'll go in deep in that shit. But you know what I'm saying? I like a girl who share my same interests. You know, because it makes it much easier. You know, I like to be able to. I guess you could say I'm like the tender kind of nigga where I'll want to cuddle with you and watch movies and shit with you and shit, and you know, play video games with you and stuff. I'm that type of dude. But I'm also the time I need to be strong is when I need to be. I don't need to flaunt my strength. I don't need to do that shit. Fuck that shit. Niggas do that shit all the time. Why I gotta do it? Why I gotta be this nigga that flaunts his strength and act like a thug and shit? Why I gotta do that? I do it when the time requires it. When it's time, when strength needs to be shown, then I show it. When it don't need to be shown, I don't need to show it. It makes it much easier because people underestimate you, and that's what makes it good. It's good when people say, "Oh, he ain't gonna do shit," and when you knock their ass on the ground and knock their head back and forth like that, it's good because they don't expect it. They don't expect you to knock their ass the fuck out. That's the good part, is when they expect it, it makes it harder. It makes it harder because they're ready for it. But when you don't show them that, and they think they can push you around and shit, so when you knock their motherfucking ass out, people will say, oh shit. They take a second, they back up a little bit and say, wait a minute, maybe I shouldn't fuck with people. You know? The pretending of showing of weakness is a strength. Because when you pretend to show weakness, people underestimate you. So when they do push and it's time to show that strength, they're not prepared for it. They were never prepared for your strength. They were never prepared for it. They were not prepared. That's the best part about that shit. That's why I don't fucking start shit with people. I let people do shit, and when they put their hands on me, that's when I act up. It's when they put their hands on me. I don't initiate conflict. I never do. I don't believe in initiating conflict. Why? Why? Why should I do that? Even a fucking ex-Navy SEAL, someone who was in the Navy SEAL said the same thing I'm saying. He's not the aggressor. He never aggresses on people. He don't give a fuck how big, how little, it don't matter. He don't start shit with people. It's when they try to grab him and try to fight, like actually put their hands on him. That's when he, defends himself. He don't do it. He don't just, oh, well, you square off with me and want to fight and get in my face? Fuck out of here. I can walk away from you. I ain't got to fight your stupid ass. There are so many reasons why you shouldn't do that shit. You want to know why? Here's one. There's been a growing phenomenon with Negroes, black people. I'm black, so I can say that. It's not that bad, I promise. Now, if you're a white person saying that shit, it could be bad. Now, I wouldn't recommend saying that shit unless you really want to get your ass beat by a group of black people. Because there ain't going to be one person that's trying to beat your ass. It's going to be a group of black people trying to beat your ass. So, use that word in caution if you really want to be that type of dude. If you want to be that type of dude, use it in caution. That's all I'm saying. So, when I do it, what I do is I don't fucking do that shit. I don't do that because I know niggas try to kill each other nowadays. Niggas got guns, niggas got knives, niggas got friends. So that means they gonna jump the fuck out you. And I'm not about to do that. The only time is when I'm pushed into a corner and there's no other options. Because there's always an option. They want you to believe that there is an option. They want to make you feel like, oh, you're less than a man to walk away from a fight. It's actually more intelligent because what if he sues your ass after you beat the fucking brakes off his ass? What happens when you beat the living shit out of this dude and he sue your ass? He sued the fuck out you. And now you paying his hospital bills. Now you look stupid as fuck. See what I'm saying? What if he pulls out a knife and slit your fucking stomach open? Now you on the ground with your guts hanging out. What if he pull a gun and shoot your stupid ass? You see where I'm going with this, right? You see how it's slowly, there's not a lot of good things that happen beating someone's ass. There's never any good outcomes. Maybe your friends will be like, yeah, you whooped his ass. Yeah, they buff you up and shit. Cool. But you were lucky to have that scenario happen. Because if you do it with another person and another person, those results might vary. You might fuck with this damn little ass lanky motherfucker, and you might beat his ass. Okay, nothing happens. Fine, you beat his ass, nothing really happens. You beat his ass, you go home, nothing really happens. Now, you go beat up Tyrone or Jerome, he gets up and he pulls out a fucking knife. Now, you're in a knife fight. You're in a fist to knife fight. Now, how the hell you gonna get out of this situation? And this nigga chasing you with a fucking knife. Your ass gonna get killed. You might get killed today. Oh, you beat the fuck out of Jerome. He gets up and pulls out a fucking Glock on your motherfucking ass. And now you're dead. You lost your life today. Just because you wanted to act like you were a strong, big man, wanted to fight motherfuckers. People don't fight no more. This ain't a fighting anymore. People are not willing to lose fights anymore. No one's willing to lose a fight anymore. Because in the eyes of other men, you're weak as fuck if you lose a fight. So, people are willing to kill a motherfucker for a fight. They're willing to kill each other over a fight. Over the dumbest of shit. Why would you want to play stupid games with stupid motherfuckers? I'm not playing no stupid game with a stupid motherfucker. You good. You can play those games with him. I'm not. I'm good. I got pride, sure. But I might have my pride, but I'm not Vegeta. There's a difference here. I'm not Vegeta, where he has this pride, where he fights everybody and get his ass beat or damn near killed. I'll give you an example. In Dragon Ball Z. He fought Frieza. He had all this pride, fought Frieza, died. Because he thought he was that nigga and got his ass beat and killed. But again, that's anime, so that's not real. But you get what I'm saying. You understand what I'm coming at with you. You understand what I'm saying to you, though. You understand it. You get what I'm saying to you. That's the point I'm trying to make, is that fighting ain't always the best option. Sometimes walking away is better. Walking away is better. Because guess what? There are so many bad things that can happen to you besides winning that goddamn fight? You can win the fight. Sure you could. You could win that fight. But what happens when you win that fight and that dude pulls that gun on your ass and shoot your motherfucking ass? And now your mama gotta bury your ass. Now she gotta look at your dead body, buried the fuck up. She gotta watch you in that fucking casket as you get loaded in that fucking ground. You know what I mean? And I don't want to be that. I don't want to be that. Where my mama has to bury my ass because I wanted to get in a fight with a jackass who didn't want to lose a fight and killed me for it. You know? I don't want to be that. So, I know when to walk away. You have to. Back in the day when you're kids, you can fight, do all the fighting you want. As a child, do all the fucking fighting you want. These are your kids. Go for it. Do your little fights. But once you start hitting, when you start becoming an adult, that fighting shit gotta cut. You gotta cut that shit. Because now you can get sued for fighting motherfuckers. People can sue your ass. People can literally sue you. And they start to fight. And you get sued anyway. They sue you and they start the fight. They start the fight and you still get sued. And you still have to pay their money. You still have to pay their hospital bills. That's some bullshit. That's bullshit. That's dumb. That's stupid. And I'm not doing that for nobody. Fuck that. That's trash. So, that's why I say when there's no other options, fight. It has to be your last resort. Just like killing somebody. If you're going to kill somebody, let it be your last resort. Let it be the last thing the only thing you got left is killing that motherfucker. That's why, hey, sometimes you got to kill somebody because it's the only option you have left because that person gives you no other options. You exacerbated all options, running away, fighting, all you got. You did everything you can to get away from this person and they just won't stop. So the only way you got left is put this motherfucker in the ground. It's a shame that has to happen, but it has to happen sometimes because people don't know how to just let it go or just lose. You can't, it just be like that. And I'd rather just be smart about it and not put myself in that situation where I might be the one getting killed today, Fuck that shit. I don't want to be the one I don't want my mama to have to bury me, no parent wants to bury their child because they themselves they get in this fucking pissing contest with some motherfucker, and this motherfucker that they get in a pissing contest with does not want to lose. And because they don't want to lose really badly, they're willing to kill you to not lose. And I don't want that. So when I do have kids, I'm gonna teach them not to go in to let violence and fighting be your last resort, never your first resort. If a motherfucker push you, walk away. Walk away. Hey, he pushed you. Fine. But once he grabs you, that shit changes. That's when you fight. That's when you put your hand, that's when you beat the fuck out that motherfucker. And then you walk away. You don't stay. When you beat this nigga's ass, you walk away. You don't stay. You don't stay. Because if he gets back up and he shoots your motherfucking ass, that's just how it be. And I don't want that to happen for my child. I don't want to have to bury my son or my daughter because she stayed to keep fighting this motherfucker because they won't go down. They won't stay down. Fuck that shit. Fuck that shit. Once you beat their ass, walk away. Just leave. Ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. Sometimes it ain't worth it. Rise above the shit. I'm not this pacifist motherfucker. There's this chick named Rose Mullet who was like, oh, pacifism all the way. I don't believe in that. If the time calls for violence, then answer the call with violence. Answer it. When it calls for violence, answer. When it calls for it, not let it be your first. If you can leave the situation first. Get out of the situation before you even throw a punch. I better not say, oh dad, well, he talked about my mom. I get it. A kid I fought one time talked about called my mom crackhead. I fought his motherfucking ass. I did that. I could have easily ignored his ass, but it got to me, and I chose to fight. That was me choosing that. I could have ignored him, but I chose to fight. You know what I mean? But if he puts hands on you, that's when you answer that call. That's when you answer with violence. Let it be the last option. It should never be your first. It should never be your first thought. Beat the fuck out of him. I know it's tempting. It's tempting as hell to fight. It's tempting. It's tempting as hell to say, you know what, fuck this. He'll shut the fuck up if I beat his ass. If I beat the fuck out of him, he'll shut the fuck up. It's tempting. It's so tempting. Violence is tempting as hell. It wants you to do it. My mom always say it's the devil calling you. It's the devil saying, yeah, get to that dude level. Go to his level. Get down there with him. Get down there with him. That's what my mom used to say. My mom always said that's the devil calling. See, for me, I don't have that belief in this God and stuff like that. That's just personal. But I can at least acknowledge what she's saying. I acknowledge it. It's the evil in your heart. It's the evil. Because every human being has a little bit of evil inside. We all do. We all have evil in our heart, at least a little bit. We all do. Come on now. Come on now. You can't tell me there been one time where you go, you know what? I could easily steal this thing. And you like, no, don't do that shit. Don't do that shit. You don't want that shit done to you. Don't do that shit. You know? I've had that moment where I sat down and be like, looked at something I want and I can steal it. And I say, you know what? Nah. I know that's the dark part of me that wants to do that. Fuck that. I'm not listening to it. You know? That dark shit will get you in trouble. Some people feel like they have to do that dark shit because it's in them. No. Sometimes it ain't. Sometimes you ain't got to. Now, to bring it to what I was talking about, gender and shit, because I went on a whole tangent about gender, we'll bring it back. Some people would say being gay is that darkness and shit. But I don't see it. It's just like wanting to have a family, have kids, and have a wife, you know? Where me, it's like me. I want to have a kid. I want to have wife. I want to have a wife and child, you know? I want to have a family. That's me. I want to have those things. I want to have a wife and a child. That's me. That's me. That's what I want. Same thing for a gay dude wants a family. He want a husband or a wife or she wants a wife. That's them. They want to have happiness just as much as I do. What's wrong with their happiness compared to mine? It's not. It might not be the same because, hey, I have a child with my happiness, but hey, it's still happiness. They still want that happiness. Why should I deny them their happiness? Because they're different? Fuck that shit. Because these are two consenting adults. These are two adults saying, hey, I want to be together. So what gives me the right to sit down and say, hey, fuck off. You don't get to have your happiness, but I get to have mine. That's bullshit. That's not fair. I'm an adult meeting another adult. We both want the same shit. We want a family, and we like each other. We not like love each other. We love each other. We see each other. We see a husband, and she sees a husband. I see a wife in her, and she wants kids. I want kids. You see what I'm saying? Why should my happiness oversee everyone else's happiness who don't have that same type of happiness where it's like, oh, this woman here wants to be with this woman. She loves this woman and wants to be hurt with her and love her. Why? Why do my happiness oversee her happiness? Why? I don't see that. We're both humans. We're both adults. What makes us different? Nothing. It just so happens she likes the same sex. It just so happens she likes the same sex. It just so happens that she likes the same sex. Which is why I say, let those people have their happiness. Let those trans people have their happiness. They're adults. Let them have their happiness. They're not hurting no goddamn body. And then someone's going to come up and say, what about pedophiles? I just said adults. I think you might not be hearing me. I said adults. So I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you about that one. Because I just said adults. I didn't say children. I said adults. So if you found somehow imaginated children there, I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry, bro, but I can't fight a battle for something I'm not talking about. I'm not fighting a battle for that. You know what I mean? I'm fighting for people, adults wanting happiness with other adults. That's all I'm fighting for. That's all I'm fighting for. I fight for if a man wants to have a wife and children, let that motherfucker have a wife and child. I get that you feel like it's a slight against you as a trans person. I understand, bro. You feel like you're not wanted. I get it. But there's men out there that want trans women. There's women who want trans women. I'm just saying. Sometimes, hey, some people just don't want what you're looking for, what you got, you know? That's why I say, hey, keep your chin up. Hey, just keep your chin up. You'll find somebody. don't let that shit hit you. Just cause there's one person that's like, oh, I want a man, but I'm trans. This man don't want me because I'm trans. It's fine. There's gonna be another man out there that will want you, even though you're trans. There will always be that man out there that wants you for being, that don't care if you're trans or not. There's always gonna be that man out there for you. There's always someone out there that wants you for who you are. You just have to find that person. You just have to find them. You can't just give up and get upset and say, fuck it. You're just a fucked up person for not wanting me. Come on now. Some people just don't, you're not looking for that, you know? So I just say, hey, if you're trans, I say look for a person who wants you for who you are. They don't care about if you're born a male or female. They don't care. They want you for who you are. They love you. They see you. They love you. They want for who you are. That's who you should be looking for. You should not be looking for someone who looking for, well, do you have a pussy or not? You know? That's not what you should be, you know? That's not what you should be striving for. Because that dude don't want you specifically. He might want a specific version of pussy. You know what I'm saying? So I say just find a person that love you and accept you for who you are. That's what it's all about. Finding someone who loves you for who you are. Because when you find someone who loves you for who you are, no matter what your flaws are, it's a better relationship than having someone who just loves you just because you have a pussy or not. That shit ass. Because another bitch with a better pussy can come by and entice him to go with her instead of you. So fuck that. You can be with someone for who they love you for who you are, not for what your sex, you know, your sex is. Fuck that shit. So I say just let people be happy. Because it's corny. We talk about freedom, but when it's time to be free and let people be free, we don't want to let them be free. We want to restrict people. We want to restrict people. Grown ass adults. Now, you can have a debate about trans kids and shit. See, look here. I say this. With whole trans kid stuff, I say take that kid, go to therapy. Go to the therapist and see whether or not this is a phase or an actual thing they truly want in their heart. And ask and do this 3 times. I say 3. Now, you could say 2. Look. My cutoff age for trans kids is 16. 16. If the kid says, hey, I want to be a male or female, and they're the opposite, fine. You heard them. You heard what they said. Now what? Now sit on that. You sit on that and you wait until they hit 16 and you ask them again. You don't talk about it. You just say, okay, I hear you. And then you don't vilify it and you don't endorse it. You just let them be a kid. Ask me again when you're 16. Okay? Ask me again when you're 16. Okay? There. Now she or he 16. You ask them, hey, do you still feel that way? That you still want to transition? And they say yes. Okay, let's go to therapy. Let's talk to therapists. Let's see what they will say. Let's see what they say. And they go, I will say 15 or 14, go for it. If you want to go 15, 14, fine. I can meet you there. Anything lower, fuck that. I can't meet you there. I can't meet you there. Anywhere lower, I can't meet you. 15, 14, I can meet you. I can meet you and have a conversation. I might not agree, but I can have a conversation with you, which is what's important. Having a conversation is more important than having the non-conversation at all. You know? Conversation is more important, you know? So go to therapy. You talk to the therapist and say, hey, how do you think? What you think on this? A gender therapist and an actual therapist. And you go to a therapist and a gender therapist and you ask these people, you ask multiple people and ask them how they see it and what they see. And they ask the questions they see and they come back with their results. And if they say, hey, they really believe that shit. They believe it. You go for it. You let them be who they want to be. You let them be who they want to be. Because there's a saying I remember hearing, and it was, you should learn to walk beside them a little while before you lose them entirely, before they walk away completely from you. Walk with them a little while before they walk away from you. Because guess what? Sometimes trans people, when they grow older and they get older, they walk away from their family. They don't want nothing to do with their moms. They want nothing to do with their dads. They want nothing to do with their fucking family. So I say, walk with them a little while. When they hit that age of 15 to 16, walk with them. Walk with them. Talk to therapists. Talk to people. Walk with them. Because if you don't, they might walk away from you. And you might not ever talk to them again. That shit happens. That even happens with gay kids. Where kids grow up and they say, yo, I like boys. And then you just shit on them for it. And it's like, and then they grow up because you yourself hate that you don't want them to be gay. They grow up, they get older, and then they walk away from you. And they never talk to you again. That can happen. And I wouldn't want that. I don't want that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to lose my child and not ever be able to talk to them again and have a conversation with them and sit down and watch movies with them or play games with them again. I don't want to lose them. So I'm willing to walk with them to a certain extent. I'm willing to walk with you for a little bit. I'm willing to walk with you. But you have to be willing to walk with them. You have to be willing. And if you're not willing, they might walk away. Which, hey, if it's better for them to walk away from you, it might just be better for them to walk away. It might just be better. Mentally and physically. Better for them to just walk away from you. It just happens. Sometimes, hey, you're an ass. And you're the worst influence on them. You make them feel like dog piss. You make them feel like shit. You make them feel like they're nothing. So when they walk away, they feel better. That happens. So I say, at least walk with them to get an understanding from them instead of shutting it down and shitting on them for it. Because they might walk away from you. And hey, you might not even care. Which shows you didn't really love them like that. Because I love my child unconditionally. I don't give a fuck I don't care. Trans or not, gay or not, I will love you no matter who you want to become, who you want to love. You want to have a husband, then go have a husband. You want to have a wife, then have a wife. You want to be a woman, then be a woman. I don't give a damn. I love you for who you are. When you came out your mama's vagina, I didn't love you because you were a certain gender or sex. I loved you because you were mine. You were my son, or you were my child. You were my child. You were my spring. You were my offspring. I didn't care for your gender. I care about that you're my offspring. You came out your mom's vagina and you were mine. You were my child. And I love you no matter what you become. Because you want to know why? Because you're my child. And I will love you unconditionally, no matter who you become. I love you unconditionally. It doesn't matter if male or female, it don't matter. I love you unconditionally. It just doesn't matter to me. It just doesn't. Because I'll love you unconditionally, no matter what. That's what love is. That's what a parent love is. That's what real parent love is. You love your child unconditionally. They could be gay or trans, it don't matter. You love them no matter what. You care for them no matter what. Now, let's talk about, it would be weird for me. Obviously, it's going to be weird for you as a parent to have to, change your vernacular, the way you talk, the way you act. It's going to be hard. Having a child wasn't going to be easy in the fucking first place. When you had that child, you knew it wasn't going to be fucking hard. You knew it was going to be fucking hard to have a child. You knew that. When you signed up to have a child, you knew it was going to be a hard ass fight. It was going to be hard as fuck. You knew that shit when you started. Right before the gun shot off, you knew it was going to be a hard fight. You knew that shit was going to be hard. You knew that shit from the start. It wasn't no surprise. You knew that shit. So stop pretending like it's supposed to be easy street. No, it ain't. No, the fuck it ain't. It was never gonna be easy street. Who told you that it was gonna be easy? Who told you gonna be easy to raise kids? Who told you that? Who told you that lie? Who told you that lie? They need to get slapped. They told you a lie. That shit's stupid. So yeah, I'm willing to go through it. because I love my child. I don't care who they are. I love them for who they are. I love them because they're my child. You know, I love them for whoever they become, no matter who they become. I don't care. I just want them to be happy. And if them transitioning makes them happy, then fine. I don't care. As long as it makes you happy, I'm fine with that. Because I want you to have happiness. I want you to be happy. I want you to be happy. I don't want you to be depressed. I don't want you to be sad. I don't want you to hate yourself. I don't want you to look in the mirror and say, and feel like a disgust for yourself. I don't want you to feel that. I want you to wake up in the morning, look in the mirror and say, I'm happy to be alive. I'm so blessed. I'm happy. I want you to be that. I want you to feel that. I want you to feel happy when you wake up in the morning. I don't want you to feel depressed. I want you to be happy when you wake up in the morning. I want you, when you go in the mirror, you smile because you know it's going to be a good day and you're going to be happy. You're happy. I want you to be that. I don't want you to be depressed. Fuck that. Because I'm depressed. I don't like being depressed. It fucking sucks. Wake up in the morning and feel like shit. It don't feel good. I don't want them to go through that shit. Luckily for me, I had to deal with I had to deal with the whole not, wanting to be a woman stuff. I didn't have to deal with that shit. I don't have to. I was lucky to not have to deal with that bullshit. And the reason why I call it bullshit is because it's so much shit to that. It's so much sadness, it's so much shit to that, and it's so sad. And I don't want to. I'm glad I don't have to deal with that. Some people have to, and I'm happy that I don't have to. But if they have to, I want them to make it I want their life to be much easier. I don't want to make it even harder and have their fucking dad sit over them and say, "Fuck you, you know what I mean?" I don't want that shit on them. Fuck that. It makes it worse. Because they don't feel like you love them. You didn't love them. You don't love them for who they are or who they gonna become. You don't love them for that. You love them. You love them for a certain extent, and they didn't meet up to your expectations, so you upset. That's what that was. You had expectations for your child, and they ain't reached your expectations, so you're upset with them, and it makes them feel like shit. Fuck that. That's bullshit. That's ass. I'll end it with this. Why fucking say we all believe in freedom and this country's for freedom, and when it's time to give people that freedom to be who they want to be, you want to steal it from them. You want to take that away. You want to snatch it from them and say, fuck off. You don't get the right to be happy. Why do you get to do that? Why do you get to have your happiness and they don't? That's the message. That's the question for you today, if you're watching. Why do you believe your happiness is more important than a trans person's happiness, a trans woman's happiness, or a trans man's happiness, or a gay man, or a gay woman's happiness? Why is your happiness more important than theirs? They're human just like you. They're an adult just like you. What makes your happiness more important than theirs? Is it religious beliefs? Hey, there are religious beliefs that say, hey, you should rape babies. Should their religious beliefs be above yours? No. You know what I mean? It don't make sense. That's the question I ask for today. That's the question I ask for you today. So I'll leave y'all with this. See y'all tomorrow.